Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Welcome in episode 20 of BLT Bets. Tyler, BaggedMilk, and Liam with you.
Fade out.
Fade out.
Nailed it.
I am hashtag fade in on this NHL season. Am I right?
Hashtag Chalman.
Yeah. Hashtag Chalman for those of you who also listen to the Real Life podcast. I had a listener of this podcast come up to me the other day.
Really?
Said he knew you. Said, I listen to BLT Bets. You guys are awful.
Oh, thank you. Who was it?
I don't know.
He
was also very drunk.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, listen, we gamble with our hearts.
Yeah. This is nothing more than an entertainment podcast.
Sometimes it goes awry.
Although I will give myself a nice pat on the back because last year over at Daily Faceoff, I did my recommended bets every single day of the season. I put out over 350 bets on Daily Faceoff. And I was up just over 10 units by the end of the year. So my bets that I actually do research for do pretty well. And I'm already 2-0 to start this NHL season. What up?
I'm 1-3.
Let me see what I did. I don't remember what I did last night, to be honest.
You know what? I'm going to give myself some props since we're so bad. At the start of this show, maybe episode 1 or 2, I said George Russell finishing higher than Lewis Hamilton at like +1 something. Mm-hmm. Was the bet of the year. George Russell, 207 points. Lewis Hamilton, 180.
There you go. You did it.
To the person who knows me, take that.
I actually lied. I did not bet on any hockey last night. I watched some. It was nice to just have hockey back to watch.
What do you think of that weird thing with the ref?
What is that? I don't need
Very
that.
odd.
I was actually, when it happened, I was admittedly a little unsure who was talking. I wasn't aware that this was going to happen. And then, they started talking. I just assumed it was a commentator. I was like, why is Zibanejad and Point like not going in for the face-off? And then I realized, the ref's talking. And then, did you see he had that interaction with Hedman?
No.
They were like, he was like, so what was that? And he's like, they asked me to do it. And he's like, what's the pay increase? And he's like, an ESPN hat.
That actually might not be a joke.
No, it probably is not a joke. No, it's definitely not a joke.
Hey man, here's this sweet ESPN flat brim.
But it's like one of those ones you get out of a beer box that doesn't fit anybody at all.
And you know what, too, NHL? If you're going to do that, why not just use Wes McCauley? He's like the biggest one of the biggest personalities in the sport. Never mind just refs. Like, just let him go do his thing there. Like, the referee did a fine job. Like, I mean it is what it is.
Right?
Could you imagine if they do that tonight in Edmonton before the Oilers game, what the ref will hear from the old people at Rogers Place?
Oh man. Yeah.
I love it.
But it feels good that hockey's back. I know there were games technically last week on
Friday.
Yeah, but it was the Europe thing, and that just doesn't count.
They played Saturday as well, didn't
they?
Yeah,
but like on Saturday, by the time I went to check the score, the game was already over.
Yeah.
You know what? I just don't get it. Like, I don't know why they did it. Like, do it, sure. Like, go to Europe, whatever. But why not just do it on the start of the season Saturday and have no preseason games? Like, why not just make that your like showpiece event? Like, I
thought they did actually drop the ball this year, not having games on the weekend. Like, what's the NHL's obsession with starting in the middle of the week? Own a Saturday. It's NHL puck drop. ESPN or fucking whoever, like, we're running it for 12 hours, nonstop hockey. Yeah. And they just don't. I guess maybe like Saturdays is so big on college football, so that like might be tough. But still, I don't know.
Maybe you have the rights. You have ESPN. You have
especially up in Canada at least. Like, why not do a hockey night in Canada Saturday night to start the season?
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
What's that thing they do on Wednesdays that they're doing tonight? What's it called? The
rivalry night.
Is that what it is? Rivalry night on a Wednesday?
I just always call it the Wednesday doubleheader.
Yeah, and then you have hometown hockey now on a Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought they killed hometown hockey.
I thought they still did it as like the TV broadcast. It was called Hometown. Oh, they killed it? Well, it was on Monday. It used to be always Sunday, which I thought was like kind of a perfect cool thing. Yeah, it was really good. Felt relaxed.
Yeah.
But yeah, NHL once again doing a poor job of promoting its
way she goes sometimes.
There were people yesterday. There were people yesterday who were like, I didn't even know the season was starting.
Yeah, it kind of sneaks up on you.
It does.
Yeah, you imagine if you did that though. Start at 11. Start at 11 o'clock in the morning. You have an East Coast game. You have New York versus New York. You make it all the way to the end of the day, and you have Edmonton, Calgary.
It'd be awesome.
That'd be unreal start to the season. It'd be like, just do what the NBA does on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Just spread them out.
Well,
You did it in the bubble. You can clearly do it in the regular season.
I was just going to say, when they did that in the bubble, it was kind of fun to wake up and it's like 10 o'clock game start and you're watching until 11 p.m. Like, I'm not saying do that every day like we had in the bubble, but to start the season, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
So tonight there is a lot of hockey on. You got Bruins Caps, you got Leafs Habs, you got Blue Jackets Canes, Hawks Avs. Wow. Kraken versus the Ducks, and then Canucks versus Oilers is the nightcap tonight.
Can I, since you ran through today's games, can I give you my first parlay of the season?
Yes.
So what I've got is I just did a little bit of a favorites parlay here.
Yep.
So I got the Leafs over Montreal,
Yep.
Colorado over Chicago,
Money line?
money line on all these, and Edmonton over Vancouver. So a 3-leg parlay came out to plus 162.
My recommended bet on Daily Faceoff today was Leafs Oilers parlay.
There you go.
I like it. I think early in the year, the best way to go, like, no one really knows how good the Bruins and Caps are this year, right?
Yeah, I say
like they're both kind of unknowns. Even the Kraken and Ducks, who are they? We don't know. They have no identity. But we know the Oilers are good. We know the Leafs are good. We know the Avs are good. We know the Hawks are junk. The Canucks are an unknown. The Habs are junk. So I think it's a smart play early in the season to just eye up some favorites. I get there will be random results. There will be upsets throughout the year, all of that stuff. But I think for the most part, early in the year, sticking to favorites is the way to go. I think long-term in the NHL, and this will come in around like the 15, 20 game mark, if you can start to eye up some good underdogs, that's how you get to be profitable in the NHL. But early on, I think favorites are the way to go.
Do you have a favorite underdog bet for tonight in the NHL? I'm just kind of lucking. Like,
Well, I nailed Vegas yesterday on our show.
What was the bet?
Vegas money line, they were dogs, plus 100.
But like, that's a bold bet by you because their goaltending was so bad.
But I just thought in the vacuum of the first game of the year, like eventually I think Thompson will give out and he'll have a bad stretch. I think early in the year, there's enough adrenaline going there. They kind of got that chip on their shoulder. So I felt safe with it.
Well, who is it? It's Bob McKenzie every year that always says whatever happens in October doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
In terms of
it's
what the teams
November
are.
where you kind of make your hay and figure out what your team is. But the underdog I don't mind tonight if you wanted one is the Kraken.
yeah, I was kind of looking at them too.
Who they playing?
They played the Ducks, so it doesn't feel like a true underdog.
They're plus 100.
Yeah, definitely. I was kind of looking at that one. Admittedly, like maybe Vancouver could cause Edmonton some troubles. I don't see Chicago doing anything against Colorado. The Bruins against Washington, I feel like Darcy Kemper will have a good game in his first game for Washington in Washington, but they also don't have Backstrom. Montreal, not a chance. Columbus, plus 230.
What do you think of your all team then? Pluses. What'd you say, Liam?
230.
I don't love it just because no Merzlikins. Like if they had Merzlikins, I'd be more tempted because that feels like a spot they're taking on Carolina, who's going to be a really good team this year. Mm-hmm. But, Freddie Anderson's prone to have a bad game here and there. If it would have been Merzlikins versus Anderson, I would have been like, yeah, plus 235. That's maybe worth a little shot here. But Daniil Tarasov just doesn't have the body of work for me to be like, oh, I trust this guy with my hard-earned money.
I don't have that feeling about Carolina this year, which maybe sounds silly of me because of how good the blue line is. And obviously they have a lot of good players too, but Kotkaniemi as your second line center just doesn't give me any thrills at all.
Yeah, that's fair. And you know what? I should maybe give a little bit more respect to Daniil Tarasov. In 4 NHL games, he has a career .937 save percentage. But again, it's body of work for me. I just don't trust him quite enough. But I don't think it's a great night for underdogs. But I always, and I think BaggedMilk, you're in the same boat as me. I always lean favorites with this stuff. I don't know why. I just have a hard time trusting underdogs a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's not a lot out there. Especially all the favorites. All the good teams are the home teams besides Toronto and Montreal too. So that's going to play in favor. One other bet I like tonight: Leafs puck line. I mean, come on, Montreal. What is the third most experienced player? I can't remember his name, but he's played 20 games in the NHL or something like that.
What do you got the odds for on the puck line?
Even money.
Even that's wild. Hey, puck line is still even money.
It's this early in the season too.
Would you see the Avs game tonight?
Wasn't it minus 150?
It's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
Super disrespectful. I don't mind just looking at the Leafs and the way I think they'll absolutely pick apart that Habs blue line. Leafs team total If you were to take that at like 2.5, it's paying just awful. But if you were to combine that with the Blackhawks team total at, say you take them at 3.5, you're getting that at -115. Leafs to score 3, Avs to score 4. That feels like a decent spot. Peter Mrazek's junk.
Yeah, that's
so like maybe a little team total action. But again, if the Leafs score, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the puck line's just a smart play and I'm overthinking it.
I think puck line will be actually pretty good today. You know, the Colorado one, like you said, is probably not what you want to go with, but the Leafs one, like even I like the others on the puck line too, to be honest. What did I get them at? +140. Just home openers. They make a difference. They really do.
I think there's a little extra juice in the building for a team that's playing their home opener.
And for a team that's expecting to have so much success this season. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, a little extra juice, and I'm going to chase it. -140 on, +140 on the Oilers puck line.
That's a really juicy line.
How are you guys, so we're all Oilers fans here. How are you approaching the season opener tonight?
Cautiously, because...
But you like the puck line.
I like the puck line. But I'm not going to just like throw the kitchen sink of the game.
Like Jay was on Oilers Nation every day, and he is like McDavid over 2.5 points all away to score. My risky bet is McDavid to score first because I don't know. I see something tonight.
My risky bet is Kane to score first.
Okay. I could see that too.
You know, I just like, but again, I didn't put a whole lot on it. That's one of those ones where you just a little sprinkle, see what happens.
My actual like research smart guy bet is McDavid to score +100. You get that thing at even money. He's always a big game guy. You know he's going to be fired up for this one tonight. And I think this is the year he hits 50 goals as well.
I do too. So, my in-game parlay for tonight is total over 6.5. First game, I just always expect offense, even though maybe it's crazy because Demko and Campbell are in that. But over 6.5 total, and then 2 points for Draisaitl.
Minus like what, 110 on that, 111?
That turns, I don't know how the Betway odds work, if I'm being honest. It turns $5 into 13.
I'll give you a little helping hand here. If you
please.
Decimals.
Oh, I need that.
Go to American.
Oh, that's so much better.
People always say though that decimal like
+162.
Okay. Oh, really? Draisaitl over 1.5 points, +162.
Plus the team total.
Oh, plus team total. Okay. Yeah. Okay. People always say that the decimal is like, oh, just get used to it. It's way better. But I'm just so used to the American +235 style that I can't now.
Well, in England, they use fraction.
Oh, I can't do this much math.
Liam, your countryman.
Okay, so Liam's changing.
We have to draw fraction somewhere.
Columbus 9-4 tonight to win. Thoughts?
So that parlay I just said, Tyler.
Yeah.
Over 6.5 total goals, Leon Draisaitl over 1.5 points.
Yeah.
The odds, if you go fractional, are 13 over 8.
The fuck does that even mean?
That means nothing to me.
13 to 8. Come on.
Of course.
So if you wager,
just figure it out.
If you wager $8, you win 13. But what an odd number! Like, yeah, $8, please. That's confusing.
No, I just put $5 on that one and it would return 12.
Well, if there's any English people listening to this podcast, let us know what that means.
Yeah, just like, or give me some kind of calculator that I need to figure your odds out.
Give me a math lesson, please.
The research pick I made, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins over 2.5 shots.
That's my boy. Let's go.
+135.
That is like, I bet that so many times last year because he was just sneaky and just because he plays a lot of power play.
Yeah, he gets that sneaky one. He in 4 games against the Canucks last year, he hit it 3 times. He had 11 shots in 4 games. So the one game he didn't hit it was that last game of the season.
Was that the Oilers Nation party?
Yeah, but is that a trend you can put stock into? Like how often he does it against the Canucks specifically? Shots on goal for me. Like I love betting shot props. So why?
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
Well, he did it 3 out of 4 times last year, so I'd say the odds are just in my favor.
But specifically against the Canucks, is that a coincidence or is that a trend?
Maybe it's I think it's a trend. If you do it
I don't hate the bet for what it's worth. I might tell you.
I wasn't expecting to have to explain myself that much. I don't know. I just saw it and I thought, he shoots the puck pretty often.
I'm going to tell you on it and I'll tell you why. First game of the year, everybody's jacked up. He's going to be on the power play. Yeah. He plays all situations. Him and Zach Hyman are great together on the PK. Yeah. He's on the third line that I think is going to get softer matchups against Vancouver.
That's a good point.
I'm taking him over 2.5 shots. Plus 120 now that I've had my odds corrected. Now I understand.
For me, so last year I liked playing shot props a lot. I also like doing assist props because I think sometimes that's a stat that can get overlooked by casual sports bettors. A lot of people just go, picking this guy to score, or picking this guy like over 1.5 points, and people just straight up ignore assists. So my criteria for betting on shot props was I would go to their game logs, I'd look at their last 10 games, and if something hit in 7 of the last 10 and you're getting a better than minus 120 payout, it's a bet for me. Few other things, like if the matchup's not good, like if it's whatever, a guy on Columbus and they're playing Colorado, I'd be like a little bit more hesitant, but matchups don't really matter all that much for shots on goal. But my threshold for shots was 7 of the last 10, a better than minus 120 payout. My threshold for assist betting was if it was 7 of the last 10 and it was plus 100 or better, then I'd bet it. So better than even money had to have happened in 7 of the last 10 or 4 of the last 5, because sometimes guys get hotter. So I had like thresholds I would keep an eye on, and I found like that worked. Like I was profitable last year.
Since you mentioned kind of your thought process on how you do those bets, and Liam did too, since it's the first day of the Oilers season, started yesterday, I guess technically Friday, what's an introductory bet that you would give people, or at least something to look at if they're trying to learn how to get into it?
I mean, just straight up puck line, Oilers to win by 2 or more goals. That's a great way to chase a little bit of juice because, like you said, Liam, it's plus 140 pretty much. That's a good line. But I also think just like shot props can get confusing, especially if you're doing like team shots on goal and things like that.
But I do love team shots because there's something super fun about being in the third period and you need over, say, 27.5 or something, and you see it trending there, but you're not quite sure it's going to get there. That's so much fun.
That is a good one. I do love, and it's not often up on a ton of books, but when you can get it, a team shot on goal is fun. But I think if you're a rookie bettor listening to this and you're like, hey, I want to get into sports wagering this year, first off, always bet responsibly, and maybe don't listen to us that much when we give you our picks.
No, not today, especially.
Not today. But I think player goals, player assists, and just betting on your team to win. I think those are 3 things that are like pretty easy to keep track of. You generally know what they are. There you go.
Liam, what do you like?
Yeah, when I started betting on hockey, I would just do players to score, to be honest. Just saw how much juice was there, and I started hitting it, and then as things, I guess you get used to what the wording on everything is, like puck line and all that kind of stuff. Because puck line's weird because in all other sports it's just called spread. Yeah. Or in baseball, isn't it called the run line?
Yeah, baseball? I mean, it's
just kind of weird, I suppose, if you're coming from like football or something. But yeah, I would just say just anytime scores is what I always like to do. And
what is it called in soccer football?
Spread.
Oh,
yeah. It's soccer football.
Soccer
baseball. Is that what you guys called? Like, did you play that as a kid in like
I love it.
Kickball?
Yeah, kickball.
But what did you call it? Kickball?
Kickball.
You didn't call it soccer baseball?
No.
Did you call it soccer baseball?
I watched Recess and they played kickball. So
yeah. No, I always called it. I always grew up calling it soccer baseball because that's what it is. Soccer and baseball in one.
We should get a game, a Nation Q game.
That would actually be so much fun.
Yeah.
There's the adult sports league in town did kickball leags for a while. And I was like, that'd be a lot. That'd be like a fun thing to get into.
If we just drive out of that neighborhood that way, I know this is an audio podcast, so this doesn't mean anything. There's baseball diamonds just up the hill over there.
Oh, yeah. The school.
Yeah, that school up there. We could easily make this happen.
Hell of a view from there too.
Oh, great view.
Yeah.
Overlook the river valley, play a little kickball.
Yeah. Do you know, actually, I recently played a game of kickball, and this made me feel...
In the sports league?
Yeah, I'm playing a multi-sports league. It's very fun if you're looking for something to do. And I stepped up to the plate for my second bat, and they moved the infield out.
Oh, nice.
That feels good.
Feels good.
Pretty good.
Feels good.
The funny thing about it was a couple of people later, my friend went and they brought the infield in.
Just so...
What a sucker.
Yeah.
So sad when
that was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking. I really like. We've started to use Betway now. We're partnering up with them a little bit around the network and things like that. Their little pre-made bets are very neat, very unique.
Hit me. Let's talk about some.
So some of them just get insanely juicy. Example, 2,000. This one's paying out 2,500 to 1.
I'm interested.
McDavid, Draisaitl, Kane, and Hyman all to score hat tricks.
Yeah.
How does that even make sense?
But like, I'd love
or Or is it saying those players no, that wouldn't make sense. All to score 3+ goals. Yeah.
Where do I find that?
It's in, you got to go into the game.
Go into the game.
But anyways, there are some that aren't like that insane that are actually kind of cool. Like McDavid and Draisaitl both to score plus 275. I like that.
Man, you're not kidding. Like the further down you go on this list, they're fun down here, Liam.
It's crazy. And some of
Vancouver
them
to win over 6.5 total goals. Leon Draisaitl and Quinn Hughes both to score plus 250,000.
What about this one? Oh, I might be in on this.
Hit me.
McDavid and Draisaitl both to get 4+ shots on goal. So that's over 3.5. Hyman and Nuge each to go over 2.5 plus 240.
They might just do that on the penalty kill.
That's interesting. Nugent Hopkins to get a power play point plus 140.
I'm looking at what they're doing in Colorado's game against Chicago because I got a feeling there's going to be some goals there.
Yo, there's going to be goals for sure.
Yeah, that's my one over spot today, actually. If I had to pick one, is that Colorado game. Like, who knows what they're getting out of new starter Alexander Georgiev in Colorado. He's an inconsistent goalie. And on the other side, it's literally Peter Mrazek. That's it. That's the whole explanation for the pick.
Do you think there's any way Chicago do keep this close? Plus 275, a power play goal and an empty net goal in the match, it says, actually.
No, I just think Colorado might blow them out.
How about, have you looked at I'm back to the Oilers. Sorry, guys. Yep. Have you looked at the player specials like McDavid and Draisaitl both to score plus 275?
I said that one. I like it.
Oh, I was in the pre-build bets. I was in the tab over. Like if you go in the pre-build bets, the tab over there, you can chase the juice way down.
Yeah, I think that's where you were too, Liam.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here.
But some of the combos just don't make sense. Like Oilers to win over 6.5 goals. Oh, and JT Miller to score a hat trick. Okay, well, like why? Who's betting that? Who's like, you know what? I think the Oilers are winning, but I think Miller goes off. That one's confusing.
Wow, these
Oilers
are fun.
To win in a Draisaitl hat trick, 33-1. Any Gordie Howe hat trick in the game, 28-1. We just don't see those anymore.
We just don't. Yeah.
Set the tone.
Yeah, maybe Evander Kane.
I wish we saw Gordie Howe hat tricks more often.
Penalty shot in the game, 12-1. The point is, there's a lot you can bet on, and that's just you can get that way.
Yeah, you can get as far in the weeds as you possibly could hope for. Is what we're getting at here. I like it. I really like it. It's exciting, boys. I just there's no better time in sports than right now.
Hockey, baseball, basketball getting going. Football's revved up. Both college and NFL and CFL, I suppose. I'm
trying to find my NFL bets from last weekend, but you boys would have been happy with me. I followed the advice from the last episode, and I did okay. And I was very happy about it. Although I can't find my bet history now.
I nailed my teasers last week. I was telling and explaining on our last episode kind of what a teaser is and what sort of the key metrics are in different areas when you're looking to bet teasers on NFL football. And the one I had last week was kind of just a prime example of it. I had the Buffalo Bills, who were 14-point favorites, teased them all the way down to 8. So I got them past 10, or I got them past 14 as well, obviously, but past 14, past 10, then even past 9 to plus 8. And then I also had the Seattle Seahawks, who were 5.5-point underdogs. By buying 6 points, I got them up to 11.5. That got them past 6, past 7, past 9, and past 10. 4 of the key numbers we look at. And the teaser system works. So I'll give another teaser here right away. But BaggedMilk, you said you had a good NFL weekend. Yeah,
I just had a decent one. So you were talking about teasing down to just kind of maybe lower the odds, but increase the likelihood. And if you're putting it in a parlay, it kind of works sometimes. So the one I put together last weekend was KC against the Raiders. I had Moneyline Chiefs, check.
Yep.
Pat Mahomes over 2.5 passing touchdowns, check. Over 31.5 points in the match for both teams combined. And that was a tasty little plus 165. Felt good about it.
Yeah.
That'll pay the bills.
Nice. It did. Win. You know? I was also very close to hitting one of the boosted bet parlays.
Oh, those are fun too because you just hit them and bet them.
I was short on AJ Brown. He was just short on 74.5 receiving yards.
What did he finish with? Do you know?
It's not showing me right now. But no, he just missed it.
You didn't bet the over for the Thursday night game?
I did not.
Thank goodness.
That was
I did not.
What an absolute snooze fest. I'm telling you, Russell Wilson, overrated. My dad's a big Seahawks fan. I've been telling him this for years. I said Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson are a terrible duo.
Well, I mean, they were good.
They were good. Michael Jordan was good. Wayne Gretzky was good.
They couldn't play in the league now,
Can't play anymore. Can't play anymore.
How dare you? How dare you?
Slanderous.
Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Are you guys looking at anything for the Thursday night game? Another classic in the making.
I'm not watching that. I promise you I will. I mean,
the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears.
So Zach will be watching that. He's a big Bears guy.
That's too bad. You know what? I'm a Lions fan, and that sucks. And actually, this is a terrible point I'm bringing up now because I'm pretty sure we just got shut out on Sunday. But at least we score a lot of points and our games are entertaining. Besides last week, Chicago, horrible team.
Chicago sucks.
Yeah, I probably won't watch this game, but I might do the over. It's only 38.
This could be a teaser spot. You tease it, the over down to 32, pair it up, get the Commanders up to +7.
Let's have a look and see what that comes out at. So you think the Commanders are winning?
I don't think they're winning, but I think that game's going to be such a grind, it'll stay close.
So get it down to 30.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then pair it up with the Commanders +7. Keep it within a tutty.
Commanders +7. -140. Maybe if you're throwing a little player prop, let's just say, I don't know, Antonio Gibson, because he's on my fantasy team.
See, now you're getting too cute with it. In these boring games, you don't want to just keep it simple, I think is the way to do it when you know the game's going to be boring. Anyways, while I'm researching my teaser bet for the week, or finalizing what I want to do, F1 or footy? Which way do you want to go?
Well, there's no F1 this weekend, but the US Grand Prix is coming up pretty soon. Not this weekend, weekend after. So we'll actually get some real.
Do you know that I stayed up until 3 a.m. watching the race in Japan?
Really?
Yeah.
How was it? Can you tell me? I actually haven't watched. I saw the Gasly thing, which was unbelievable.
Intense. So yeah, I didn't know about what happened in 2014.
Yes, with I can't say his last name, so I don't want to say his Jules.
Yeah, Jules something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So I didn't know about that. So I was learning also. This is my first F1 season. So if you didn't watch it on Saturday, the race was supposed to start at 11 p.m. Mountain in Japan. There was a 2-hour rain delay. So my brother-in-law and I was out there for his Thanksgiving long weekend. So I was out there at his place and we're just like, okay, we're going to watch the race. And it was like, oh, rain delay. So they got started, red flagged immediately. You're like, oh shit. Okay, well, let's go. And then they're like, well, the radar looks okay. And we're going to get back up in action right away. So then we're like, okay, we'll just sit and wait. So we're drinking rums, like crushing rums. And the next thing you know, 90 minutes goes by and they're like 30 minutes until lights out. I'm like, oh no, that's so anyway, we watched it. And the thing that was exciting is that the track was so wet. So it made everybody have to be on their game. And that caused all kinds of weird shit in the order. Like Latifi finished top 10.
Latifi
first points of the year.
First points of his career.
So it was interesting. The rain delay sucked. They ended up doing like 25 laps or something of the total 53. But it was fun. Like I had money on Max to win. He ran away with it. It's a boring bet. He had negative odds, but you know, it's free money.
It's free money.
Yeah.
It's free real estate.
Yeah. So it was good. The thing that was disappointing, Liam, and you'll agree, is this season of F1 could have been so fun if Ferrari didn't fuck everything up.
Which makes me believe next season is going to be fun. Because I think Mercedes will come back big and strong. Ferrari will bounce back once they fire that guy with the round glasses or whoever else is involved. Yep. And Red Bull's just going to be good again. But yeah, this season was a little bit boring. It did feel like the season was almost over in like second or third race, to be honest, just the way Max was winning so much. I think there was a lot of hope coming into the year that Leclerc could do something, and he did, to his credit. Like
Mr. Saturday.
Mr. Saturday. He performed well, but a lot of teams disappointed. Like Aston Martin was supposed to take a step this season. They did not. Yep. McLaren got worse, and now they're moving on from Danny Ricciardo. It looks like he's not even going to be racing in F1 next season, which I have mixed feelings on, because one hand, I think it sucks to lose a personality, but on another hand, it's not like he's earned a spot. He's been terrible for 2 years, maybe 3 now, and he might be done. Like, it's hard to come back. You don't see a lot of guys leave the sport and then come back.
No.
He's probably a big enough guy with sponsors and stuff that maybe he can find a way, but I think we'll actually see him in like North America pretty soon here doing something.
I almost wondered that if he doesn't get a seat for next year, if because of his personality, they just bring him into the booth.
I thought that too. I like some media
basically
role.
Every analyst they have is a former driver.
Pretty much. Apart from the guys I've just been there forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, it's pretty good. But yeah, American Grand Prix coming out. There isn't a lot of odds on it right now to win. Let me guess. Max? Oh yeah, minus 250. Leclerc plus 400, Perez plus 900, Hamilton plus 1200, Sainz 1600, Russell 2500. Those are probably the only guys that are going to come close to winning.
Yep.
Anybody besides Max there for you? I don't think so.
I don't think so. And that's a shame. So I hope next season when we're talking F1 that we get at least a little bit tighter up top.
Yeah, I'm actually curious for Drive to Survive just to see what these guys have to say for themselves.
Yeah, me too.
Like Ferrari, you got some explaining to do.
I can't wait to see the Mercedes stuff this year.
Yeah, we've just the start of the year especially. Now they're obviously much better, but yeah. Oh.
Someone scored in the footy match you're watching.
I made a big claim on Kickback that Inter Milan would finish higher than Barcelona, and I got called an idiot that I have no ball knowledge. So,
and Inter Milan's now up 2-1.
Up 2-1 with half an hour left, and they beat them last week too. So look out for the next upcoming TikTok.
Where you're going to clap back at the haters. You should just be you
shirtless flexing.
That's exactly what it should be.
I have my teaser bet for the week.
Hit us.
Here we go.
This is a lock, folks.
Let's do it.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This Steelers team, the one that just got their teeth kicked in by the Buffalo Bills. Yes, them. The Bucs are only 9-point favorites. You tease that. It's now -3. The Bucs will beat the Steelers by a field goal.
Yep.
That's a lock. The Atlanta Falcons are playing host to the San Francisco 49ers. We need to start putting some respect on the San Francisco 49ers name, first of all. On the Atlanta Falcons name. They kept it within 1 point against the Saints to start the season. Kept it within 4 points against the Rams in week 2. Beat the Seahawks by 4 in week 3. Beat the Browns by 3 at home, week 4. Week 5, kept it within 6 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's not bad.
That is 5 straight weeks they have kept it at least within 6 points. You're getting them against the San Francisco 49ers, who I get are a good team. I'm not trying to say that they're not a good team. They just blew out the Panthers. They had their way with the LA Rams. They did lose to the Broncos, though, right? They did lose to the Bears earlier this year in that weird weather game. And they're going out on the road here. I like the Falcons to keep it close. The spread is 5.5. You tease it to 11.5. Field goal and a touchdown. Bucks -3. Falcons plus 11.5 is paying -120. That is your teaser lock of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the money.
How do you think Drake London will do?
He was quiet last week.
He's been quiet for like 2 weeks now. He's really pissing me off, to be honest.
Drake. That's my recommended bet is the teaser on the Falcons and the Bucks. I'm pretty good at these. My record kind of speaks for itself. Probably just...
I'm real good at this.
I am. I'm good at the teasers. I'm not... And my hockey bets. Everything else, me. Baseball?
I believe you.
I'm just having a luck here. There's just such a random season this year. Like Green Bay is terrible, apparently.
Yeah.
Jacksonville was good. Now they suck, but now Indianapolis sucks, and then it's only a 1.5 point spread. I don't know. A lot going on. Seattle only +3 over Arizona.
What about
Bills Chiefs?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's your thoughts on Bills Chiefs?
Day after my birthday, I'm going to be hungover sitting on the couch watching Bills Chiefs. I like the chances of it being a shootout again. I just think both those teams really, both offenses and both quarterbacks really get up for this matchup, and they're going to try a lot of stuff. So I don't love the over, but I do think it'll be a pretty high scoring game. And I like the Bills, man. I mean, they're coming off a really decisive win. The Chiefs have been, I feel like Kansas City gets kind of bored in the regular season. Mm-hmm. And the Bills are kind of hungry. They have something to prove. So I like the Bills in this one, but that's a homer take. Like, I'm not pretending it's not.
What do you make of the Christian McCaffrey rumors?
I mean, why not? You're in the year to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It will cost you, I get he's injury prone and all that, but like if you give up Zach Moss and a 4th round pick, that might get it done. So I don't see why you wouldn't look to add something like that.
I agree. I think, what are they right now for Super Bowl? I mean, the Bills should probably be the favorites with or without McCaffrey. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, plus 350 to win the Super Bowl. Chiefs plus 600. Philadelphia Plus 700. I don't know. What an interesting. I don't know if I would put money on any of these teams right now. I wouldn't put money on Tampa.
It's not good enough on the Bills yet.
No. But
yeah.
Green Bay.
Can you show me the MVP odds?
Yes, sir.
I bet on Josh Allen to win MVP beginning of this season at plus 480.
Now he's plus 200.
And I'm getting a nice cash out offer, but I am not going to take it. Holding on to that ticket.
Geno Smith plus 10,000.
He's having a great year.
Yeah, well, they were saying, so like I said, my dad's a Seahawks fan. He was telling me, he was reading that if Geno Smith fired his next 30 passes directly into the ground, he would have a better QB rating than Russell Wilson still.
Wow.
So take that, Russ.
Russ can't cook. Those memes are the best when you get like the slice of cheese in like the bowl of cereal, or like someone's like frying up chicken with like whatever they have there. Oh, it's so good, man. So good.
We're going to put together a sandwich?
Yeah, for NHL hockey tonight.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Who wants to start?
I'm going to start.
Okay.
I'm going to go Oilers to win the first period. Plus 131, first leg of the parlay.
Oilers to win the first period plus 131.
That's right.
I will go a little safer. Leafs, puck line, even money.
Okay. I'm already on McDavid to score. I already have my Leafs Oilers parlay. You guys already have the Leafs and Oilers in this parlay. So I will go.
Avalanche.
Maybe I do want to go over, but I'm going to tease it down. I'll just add a little something to this. Avs, Hawks, over 5.5. So tease that number down. Get it at 5.5. That brings our parlay up to plus 550.
Go whoop.
Wowza. Where's the money coming from?
Whoop, whoop.
The puck line? The first period?
Yeah, the first period really juices that up.
Plus 1.
But the nice part is that's what we'd be sweating out.
Yes.
Is the first period.
That's what we're going to be sweating out tonight. So we know that together as a trio, that first period is real important today.
That is big.
I hope this hits. It'd be nice for us to finally get one of these.
What's our sandwich record? Are we over?
We nailed one.
Yeah, I do remember one.
So that means out of 20 episodes, we have one right.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember the one we did where two of us picked two later ones in the week and someone picked one for that day? Oh, it was...
Is the Jays?
It was the Jays one, and it was over before we even ended the show.
That's so good, man.
A classic.
Classic BLT bet sandwich.
Okay, that's going to be a wrap for this week's episode of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'd like to make this maybe a bit more of a regular thing as we cruise through the hockey season, because we all love betting on hockey. Mix in Zach Lang, mix in some other voices from the nation, but we'll start focusing on hockey. We'll start bringing you these more and talk some sports betting. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.
Time in sports right now.
Cha-ching.